NCAA basketball, the network for college basketball. From beginning to end, you'll catch the thrills of the winners and all of the pain of the losers. The game's greatest players and their outstanding plays. Performances that rise above the expected. The personalities of the men that guide them. Coaches who've given their all to the game. All the emotion, more college basketball than anywhere else. And of course, the one and only Dick Vitale. So sit back and let the season begin. See it all here on ESPN's NCAA basketball.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are your starting lineups for the 9th annual Tip-Off Classic game. For the visiting team, the Orange Men of Syracuse University. Starting at guard, wearing number 20, a 6-foot junior from Washington, D.C., Sherman Douglas. At the other guard, wearing number 14, a 6'3" sophomore from Los Angeles, California, Earl Duncan. At forward, wearing number 32, a 6'4" sophomore from Los Angeles, California, Stephen Thompson. At the other forward, wearing number 44, a 6'9" sophomore from Detroit, Michigan, Derek Coleman. And at center, wearing number 4, a 6'11" senior from Athens, Greece, Ronnie Srycause. The coach of the Orange Men is Jim Boeheim. And now for the home team today, the Tar Heels from the University of North Carolina. Starting at guard, wearing number 14, a 6'3" junior from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, Jeff Lebo. At the other guard, wearing number 33, a 6'1" senior from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, Ranzino Smith. At forward, wearing number 32, a 6'9" freshman from Utah, Alabama, Pete Chilcott. At the other forward position, wearing number 44, a 6'7" freshman from Nassau in the Bahamas, Rick Fox. And at center, wearing number 42, a 6'10" sophomore from Hacienda Heights, California, Scott Williams. The coach of the Tar Heels is Dean Smith. Your officials for today's game, Hank Nichols, Joe Forty, and Tim Higgins.
Syracuse and North Carolina coming your way in just a moment. Dick, the keys to the game.
John, when we talk about the keys here today, we look here for Syracuse. They got to get the ball inside to Srycause, who should dominate on the lane. He's got a great touch. He's stronger. And Derek Coleman must dominate the glass. He must eat up the boards. He could be the Windex man. He can be as good as he wants to be. And then Williams has got to stay out of foul trouble. They have no size with J.R. Reed not here. They have to keep Williams in the game. And Jeff Lebo's got to drill the three-point shot, as well as his running mate, Ranzino Smith. The big question I have, can Jeff Lebo adopt to the new role of playing the point guard as opposed to playing the second guard?
Well, he did it a couple of times last year. As the tip is controlled by Syracuse, and they run right away. Duncan is in for the early 2 points.
Well, Duncan gets the first basket of the game, his first shot as a collegiate.
Ranzino Smith with the ball now.
Man-to-man defense by Syracuse.
Williams off the glass, and it's good.
Poor play defensively by Derek Coleman. Didn't do a good job denying the ball. Williams with the drop step for the quick layup.
Sherman Douglas is the general out there calling out the signals. It's inside to Srycause. Srycause loses the ball.
They're going to converge all over Srycause. Whenever the ball is entered into the lane, you can look for like a triangle to surround Ronnie Srycause.
Interesting to see what type of a job Srycause does here. They've been bragging about him all year. Ranzino Smith from the corner. It is good.
That was set up by a rear screen in the back court. The free Lebo in penetration to get Smith the open jump shot.
Stevie Thompson, the great athlete on the team, pushes it up. And Thompson in the paint. He's fouled. The foul goes against Fox, who was a bit of a surprise that he's even starting. We expected to see Madden in there.
Rick Fox is a strong player, but Steve Thompson is a big-time scorer. He can score a lot of points, even though he's not a shooter. 6'4". They're really playing with 3 guards when you look at the composition of the Syracuse team with Douglas and also Duncan and Thompson.
Stevie Thompson worked on his shooting all year long. He was a terrible shooter last year, tremendous athlete, good at getting the ball to the hole as he misses the first free throw.
Didn't even look good on that free throw, John. It looked like a real brick. He's a super kid, great student. His mom graduated from the University of Southern Cal.
Second one is good.
Looked good there.
And it's an early 4-3 lead, North Carolina.
Full court trap. Syracuse started to be an aggressive basketball team when they went to the man-to-man defense. And they really did that, John, because of the arrival of Sherman Douglas. Certainly one of my all-Rambo players as we look at the Michelangelo. There he is, Dean Smith, 611 wins. Sherman Douglas is as good as any guard in the nation in putting pressure on the basketball.
A guy who wasn't even highly recruited, wanted to play at Georgetown, but didn't get the opportunity. Carolina working the ball now. That's Chilcutt, the redshirt freshman. Said he was too light last year. They're working the Foxy turnaround. It's tipped slightly by Coleman, but it goes just the same.
Rick Fox from out of the Bahamas, a strong player. He's got great legs, good upper body, and he's a good inside player.
Didn't even play his high school year. Ronnie Cycler goes baseline. Puts it up. What a move.
That's an NBA move. He told me before the game, he said, I'm not going to be number 2 in the draft, Coach Vitale. I'm going to be number 1. Forget Danny Manning.
And Geno Smith loves to shoot the ball. That one off the glass is too hard. Fox is there for the rebound and puts it home.
They're going to like Rick Fox. I heard he was really playing well in their preseason workouts, and especially with all the Carolina alumni get together, Michael Jordan and Sam Perkins.
Sherman Douglas. Stevie Thompson with the ball now. It's stripped away there by Geno Smith. But the ball is still Syracuse's.
John, what they're going to do on a wing, they'll play off Thompson and allow him to shoot the wing jump shot so that they can play in front of Cycli and play up and back and try to sandwich him. See right now, Thompson's what? Now they came out, they trapped, they reversed it. Good ball reversal.
Coleman with the slam as he goes over top of Williams.
That's the monster masher.
It's
no doubt.
8-7, North Carolina with the lead. We're going back and forth early in this one. Fox at the top of the key, drops it for Lebo, wants to shoot, pulls up with the fake.
Jeff's not going to create his shot off his dribble a la Kenny Smith.
Williams, who lets the jump shot go, they say he's got a good shot from that distance. Lebo off to Chilcutt, who lets it go. That one's nowhere near the hoop, but Ricky Fox again boxing out and gets the hoop.
They found a ball player. Ricky Fox said no to Purdue, no to Indiana, and said, I'm coming down to Chapel Hill. They're zoning right now. Multiple defenses, zone defense. It's like a 1-3-1.
Douglas lets it go for 3, and it's good. Just like that, Syracuse ties the game.
Sherman Douglas says, forget about the rap that we can't shoot the perimeter jump shot. They said he has worked on his shot as well.
Well, as you mentioned in the pregame, that's exactly what they're going to need because everyone's going to pack it in on their big men if they don't. Jeff Lebo bangs it off the glass, and it goes.
He's a class act. I'll tell you one thing. He's got great touch and a beautiful mom. Linda, you got to be proud of your son.
Cycli turnaround, the shot is good, and he's fouled as well. A chance for a three-point play.
I'll tell you one thing, Danny Manning better really get ready to play to earn the championship trophy this year for Player of the Year. Look at Cycli's quickness inside. He's strong, he's confident, he spins, he hangs on the glass. And he's excited. Look at him right there. Number 4. They love him up at the Carrier Dome.
A couple of the North Carolina coaches went up to see the orange and white game. They said Ronnie Cycli had Coleman and Brower guarding him, and he hit his first 11.
Yeah, they told us today, Roy Williams said he was just awesome. Also, I heard he went to Pete Newell's camp where he played against all the pros, guys like Ricky Mahorn and a bunch of pro players, Dale Ellis, Xavier McDaniel, and Pete Newell said he was just awesome at training camp.
Here's what we saw North Carolina work on yesterday. They like to move the ball up the side of the floor. They can't do it this time as Lebo is pressed. And Geno Smith is open for the shot. It won't fall. Nice rebound by Chilcutt.
Chilcutt will be a good complementary player. When they get the horse back, the thoroughbred J.R. Reed, he'll be a good player off the bench. And remember, Steve Bucknall was playing really well before he was given that suspension for 1 game.
This is going to be a strong team. Even without Bucknall and Reed, they're strong. But imagine with those two in there. Inside, Hughes puts it up. There's a foul to Ranzino Smith.
We're going to see a lot of zone defense right now by Dean Smith because he's playing really short-handed across the front, and he's got to be able to try to keep Scott Williams on the floor. So you're going to see Dean Smith play a lot of zone defense.
King Rice getting ready to check into the game for North Carolina as Ranzino Smith comes out.
See, now this will change their complement in the backcourt. King Rice will be the exclusive ball handler, and Lebo will be moving without the ball to try and get free for his long-range jump shot.
Keith Hughes in the game for Syracuse. Interesting note here, North Carolina had 4 of the field goals off rebounds, and we had thought that North Carolina might have a problem there. Obviously not. Cycli with a strong rebound, and he's fouled.
I can't believe how quick Cycli is on the inside. Plus his confidence, John. He's playing with so much confidence. At practice yesterday, it looked like he didn't miss a shot.
Well, you're talking about confidence like he came over to you and says, #1, never mind this #2. Ronnie Cycli, he said, don't print that. Don't talk about that.
I'll tell you one thing, John. He reads all my quotes. Every time I'm quoted, this guy reads my quotes because he knew that I said that Danny Manning was going to be #1, and you're right. He came over and said, Uno #1, Ronnie Cycli.
If he has a weakness, you're seeing it right here on the free throw line. That's a Syracuse problem. He misses both.
How much of a problem? They missed 35 against Georgetown in 2 games where John Thompson's Warriors beat them twice during the regular season by 2-1. They missed 35 free throws in those 2 games.
Jeff Lebo's shot is blocked by Coleman. The score is tied at 14-14. North Carolina and Syracuse. Back with more in just a moment. Stay with us.
We're going to take a look right now at Derek Coleman, the power forward, a very mobile athlete. The ball's down in the air. Freeze it. See how he gets inside position by squaring his body, drop step on Chilcutt, and now it's lights out. Once he has that inside position, he's the Motor City Masher. Derek Coleman can be as good as he wants to be, but unfortunately has a tendency when the lights aren't on, John, to disappear. He loves the big game.
He wants to score more this year, too. Said, I came to Syracuse to be a scorer, not to block shots and get rebounds. And he's developed another shot to go with his repertoire.
Change defense right here. They went to a 2-3 zone. Just a little different look.
Lebo for 3 is wide open. It's short. Chilcutt goes up for it. But it's Duncan that comes down with the ball, pushes it up over to Douglas off the glass and good for 2.
That's going to be a really tough tandem once they get their rhythm and play together. I like Earl Duncan. He's strong. He can play with the ball or without the ball. In high school, he played exclusively with it. 2-3 zone. Got to get into gaps and seams. Got to really get into the gaps. The wing jump shot should be there, right there.
King Rice pushes it into Chilcutt. Chilcutt no shot, out to Lebo.
They can't get Lebo good shots. That's the guy they got to get some good shots for, Jeff Lebo, by swinging it into the gap. He's wide open right now. There it is. I should have shot that.
Pushes it under to Madden. Madden loses the handle, and Cycli comes down with the ball. And once again, Syracuse pushes it up the floor. Hughes on the wing, lets it fly. They say he has one of the better shots of the forwards of Syracuse. You didn't see an example of it there.
Plays a little bit out of control, but he's got good offensive skills from out of Carteret, New Jersey. See, right now, King Rice has got to drive the ball at the top 2 and get the wing jump shot for Jeff Lebo.
Lebo is the man they want to have the ball on the offense. He can hit the 3-pointer. A big surprise at the Pan Am games, they said Lebo was an all-around player. Most coaches and other players thought he was one-dimensional. As Madden puts it up, it's no good.
Madden is a key player for North Carolina. If they're going to have a big, big year, they need his quickness, his jumping ability.
Hughes for 3 is short.
Great decision.
Lebo is fouled as he's taken it to a hole by Hughes.
Great decision, John, by Rice. Rice is one of those pure quarterbacks. He's a legitimate point guard, has the mentality of a point guard. He really thinks all the time. Watch him right now. We got a good shot right here. There's King Rice. Now he's going to drive the bounce pass to the 45-degree angle cut right there by Lebo. See, he has the mentality of a point guard. He's thinking pass exclusively rather than shot. I'm really a fan of King Rice. Saw him in the McDonald's All-American game.
Jeff Lebo would have led the ACC from the free throw line. However, he missed some playing time, and as a result didn't have enough attempts. But just the same, he had the highest average.
Danny Ferry led it from down at Duke, where they have an outstanding team. Mike Krzyzewski's got 9 players that he can rotate. They play great team defense, and Mike's one of the great defensive coaches in the nation.
Keith Hughes inside to Srycause. Srycause out to Douglas for 3, and it is short again. King Rice comes up with it. Hughes chases after him, but Rice dishes it off to Lebo. Lebo misses the shot. Madden can't get the follow.
Jeff Lebo comes up short right there, but another good play by King Rice. I think ultimately you'll see the combination of Rice and Smith.
Stevie Thompson, the great leaping ability. You saw it there.
Slam jam bam by Thompson from out of Crenshaw High in LA. No one blocked out.
18-16 now. Syracuse is on top.
Syracuse playing a lot of zones, surprising me. I thought they'd go out and chase and pressure.
Fox pushes it to Chilcott, wants to turn around, but Srycause puts it back in his face, and Coleman comes up with the ball. Makes like a guard, moving it up. Finally dishes off. Douglas into Srycause, has it knocked back, but he's fouled. And the foul was on Madden. He does collect the call, however. Do they ever?
Carolina foul by number 22.
They try to throw the lob inside to Srycause. They throw it up for him to go catch it. There's Madden coming over the top. He thinks he has all ball. Joe Forte says, no, Kevin Madden, you got him on the wrist.
Scott Williams.
Ranzino Smith back on the floor.
Ranzino Smith.
He looks like Vinny Testaverde, who's sitting the Pines over there in Tampa. I don't know my guy Perkins. You're going to have a 500 season anyway. Why not play Testaverde and let him earn his $8 million?
Steve DeBerg having a good season for Tampa Bay, but you're right, $11 million to sit on the sidelines. Srycause should get some money like that if he goes number 1, as you were talking.
Well, he'll certainly be in the top 3 or 4 picks. There's a great center by the name of Rick Smits, who doesn't get any kind of publicity at Marist. 7-footed, about 3, and a good offensive player. And a lot of people say, can be on a level with Ronnie Srycause.
Srycause finally puts 1 free throw through. 1 of 4 attempts today.
I'd like to get Jim Boeheim and Bill Frieda, put them in the same room when I go over into Alaska for the Great Alaska Shootout, and listen to these 2 guys cry about they don't have any players. Unbelievable.
Correct. Ranked number 1, but doesn't have any players. We heard him talking about it with us yesterday. As North Carolina sets up their offense, lost pass and another turnover. Coleman to Thompson. Sherman Douglas wants to shoot and does get the nice roll.
When you talk about the All-American guards, my top 15 players in the nation, you got to put Sherman Douglas.
Oh my, Ricky Fox has been impressive early in this game.
Well, he posts up really well to the ball and has good eye contact, concentrates on catching the ball. You catch the ball with your eyes as well as you do with your hands. That's a walk. Little dance. He shuffles the ball a lot. He lifts that pivot foot. He's a little too quick with his first step.
21-18 is the score. Syracuse leads North Carolina.
Last time North Carolina was here, they were beaten by St. John's when Louis Carnesecca had the great team with Chris Mullen. They lost in overtime here. And Dean Smith's 24-2 since he's been at North Carolina in opening games. And he doesn't play a whole bunch of what we call Coastal Carolinas and Baptists like some other guys do. Right, Cliff Ellis down at Clemson? I promise not to do that.
Well, Jimmy Boeheim certainly isn't playing that type of screen.
Oh, nice.
Chilcott is wide open on the nice pass.
Nice pass, nice look, but an excellent screen. Chilcott wide open. Lack of communication defensively by Syracuse.
Stevie Thompson.
They got to get a little bit more ball movement.
Sherman Douglas with a little bit of foot movement there, and he's called for the walk. Didn't know what to do.
You know, yesterday at practice, North Carolina was really intense and animated. Dean Smith was so animated. They're playing tough defense right here. There's the little walk-in violation, little dance.
The great defense of North Carolina does it to Syracuse. The score is 21-20. The Orangemen lead the Tar Heels. Back with more in a moment. 21-20 27-27 is our score. Syracuse leads North Carolina here.
That's the way you break the little zone. You bring the ball into the gut of the zone as they did to Madden. A good pass by Madden to the weak side. That's called a zigzag maneuver. And there we look at the field goal percentage. Syracuse shooting 68%, North Carolina 50%. And right now we got a 4-point lead for Syracuse. And the difference has been the presence of Ronnie Cycli scoring a big basket inside.
Herman Hareed into the game for Syracuse, as well as Derek Brower.
Hareed is a defensive player. Brower is a member of my all-wide body. He got up to 270. He's now down at 240.
Cycli misses the shot after he had beaten Chilcott. He can't pick up the rebound. However, Syracuse controls. It's a three-point attempt that's nowhere near the hoop by Duncan.
See, that's the real inconsistency that I believe will be part of Syracuse basketball, but they should make it up with the dominant play of Cycli, Coleman, and Douglas and still be one of the giants in college basketball. But number one,
as you say, they have to develop the outside shot, and the defense of Howard Trish has to be missed as well. Chilcott does not want to shoot that ball. King Rice
is thinking pass all the time. He's like what we talk about point guards. They are born.
Lebo's three-pointer is short. Herman Hareed can't take the pass, and Carolina controls.
I've often said point guards are born like shortstops and quarterbacks.
King Rice is extremely quick, we're seeing here.
Oh, they pass the ball so well, so unselfish.
Ricky Fox has a touch.
I could see why Gene Cady wanted him badly over at Purdue. He had a big win, winning 101-88 over Arkansas, Little Rock.
Duncan in the paint. It's short. Brower with a big rebound. Puts it up again. That one falls. Cycli with another. And his is good.
Cycli gets free because of the big body of Brower. He occupies a lot of space, and then Cycli sneaks right in for the offensive rebound.
Dean Smith was a little bit upset on the sidelines. He thought Brower went over the back to get that rebound, but there was no call. Jeff Lebo sets up on the side.
Syracuse stays in his zone. Carolina can hang with them because they're capable of shooting that three-point shot.
King Rice to Chilcott. But he gets tapped on the wrist by Brower, and there's a foul.
Here comes a really unknown player, Matt Rowe, on the floor, John. And I think he could be the key to the success of Syracuse. He is an outstanding long-range shooter. He's 6'5", and with the kind of great athletes they possess with Cycli and Coleman and Douglas, you can play a player like Rowe and get away with it. He's an excellent stationary shooter.
They love him up in Syracuse. He's a local product as well. And as you say, they have him in there for his shooting ability. Matt Rowe picks up a foul as soon as he comes into the game.
I'm proud of Jimmy Boeheim now. He's not playing a bunch of cupcakes. He's playing against some tough clubs early. He's got North Carolina, and now he's got the Great Alaska Shootout with Michigan. And watch out for Arizona. They might surprise both Syracuse and Michigan.
David May is into the game for North Carolina. A member of the junior varsity team. As that shot from Lebo is no good. May tries for the rebound. Cycli, look at him, 6'10".
What a play by Cycli. Cycli initiated that whole play. He wheeled off the glass. He handled it like a little guard, and he kicked it to the open man. Ronnie Cycli, rock and roll time at the Carrier Dome. Forget the football team.
Ron Cycli says, I spent the first 3 years learning the game. This is my year as a senior. And boy, is he showing it early in this game. Ranzino Smith in the lane. It's good.
Nice job offensively. They spot the opening in the zone. Another great job of teaching. Spot the open, kick it in there, and a little jump shot.
Herman Hareed still in the game for Syracuse.
They find those openings in that zone, the seams and gaps, North Carolina.
A turnover as Sherman Douglas thought he was fouled, but no, says the official. The ball goes over to North Carolina. Chilcott comes back into the game as May goes out.
I would have loved to see the matchup between J.R. Reed and Ronnie Cycli. Ronnie on my case because in my magazine, I picked J.R. Reed as my first team All-American and Ronnie Cycli's second team. JR's got to learn, part of growing up as an athlete, to stay out of those places and just turn you back when those things happen.
Another steal by Douglas, and he takes the shot, and they open up a 37-31 lead. Syracuse up by 6. Fast break points, they have 10 now for Syracuse. Three-pointer by Jeff Lebo.
That's what'll keep them in a game. If they zone, they can hang tough because Lebo and Ranzino Smith will knock that down. Hey, my scouting report was accurate, John. I told you he's on the court only for one reason, to shoot the stationary long-range jump shot.
And that is exactly what Jim Boeheim needs. He knows he has the inside game. He needs someone he can put out there to knock down the three-pointer.
If he wants playing time, that's all he's going to have to do with this team. He wants to get some PT, Mr. Rowe. Gives him a lot of size back there also. 6'5" in the front of that zone.
Williams. Okay, Rowe comes down with the rebound.
I think Rowe's going to find himself some quality time. I really do. Not just garbage time, but QT, quality time. His shot will be invaluable to this team.
Derek Brower, who says he's developed a shot. That one, what a rebound by Coleman. Turns around, his shot is short, however.
He seems to drift. There's been about 6 minutes now that's gone by, and we haven't seen Derek Coleman on the floor. Derek has a tendency really to disappear, and then there are other times he's just superb. Oh, great fake.
Oh, Williams. Oh, and it's called a charge as Brower was given position on the ball as Williams was trying to get to the hole.
Good call by the officials. We got three of the best here in Hank Nichols, Timmy Higgins, and Joe Forte. There's the head fake. Now here's the drive. Oh, there's Brower right there. He definitely lays the shoulder in. Excellent call by Timmy Higgins and Joe Forte.
40-34 is your score. The Syracuse Orangemen leading the North Carolina Tar Heels. We have 3:05 left. We'll be back. Sherman Douglas has scored in double figures, as you see, 23 straight games, and he's done it again today.
Oh, look at that pass by Srycause. He kicks it out in transition. There's Douglas. He's strong from out of Washington, D.C., where he's the player of the year, his senior year.
Herman Hareed took the baseball pass, and once again, Sherman Douglas, with his back to the hoop, puts it in.
He is really tough in the open court in the transition game. And he's a leader also out there, and he knows how to win. Didn't lose a game his senior year in high school.
Carolina has opened up an 8-point lead now. Or rather, Carolina trails by 8. Nice move by Madden underneath.
Kevin Madden in Virginia was really highly acclaimed, along with Walker Lambiat, who just transferred and went over to Northwestern.
There's the lob. Sherman Douglas and Ron Srycause do that better, I think, than any pair in college basketball right now.
Well, they got the great eye contact with each other, throws the ball up on top, and Srycause just finishes it off. He finalizes it.
Ranzino Smith hasn't been shooting as much as I expected. He shot more last year than he did in his first 2 years. There he goes.
They're just playing right now a gimmick defense. They're playing a box and one. Matt Rowe is playing Lebo head-to-head.
Herman Hareed goes up, but he's knocked by Kevin Madden. On the fast break, Syracuse is outscoring North Carolina 12-2.
Right now is a danger time. North Carolina's got to be very careful not to have a little spurt by Syracuse that can blow this out to 14 and 15. They've been playing a man-to-man, John. They specifically assigned the row to guard Lebo to take away his jump shot, and the other four are playing a zone.
Herman Hareed, one of Bob Wade's youngsters out of Dunbar in Baltimore.
He's got so many players on a collegiate level. You go down to Nevada, Las Vegas, where you talk about intimidation. What a great crowd in terms of fan support Jerry Tarkanian has with the Running Rebels. And what a work ethic. They do a superb job defensively. That's still going to be a problem for Syracuse, shooting free throws.
Ricky Fox with a strong rebound on the missed free throw by Herman Hareed.
This is a big possession right here, John. They got to come up with a good shot here and a score.
Syracuse's 9-point lead, of course, is their biggest of the game. Jeff Lebo hitting a three-pointer certainly could change all that.
See how Rowe is going with Lebo. Number 5 is going to play Jeff Lebo man-to-man.
Coleman with another rebound on the miss. Douglas. Whoa, what a follow by Herman Hareed.
They got a bunch of athletes. They really do. Hareed and Hughes, they can run the court. They're quick. And we're not talking about their stars. Coleman kicks it out. Now here comes Douglas. He hangs in the air. He flips it up. And there goes Hareed flying through the sky. Not really a good offensive player, but right there he finishes it off. There's the difference. The running game versus North Carolina without any transition.
I'm telling you, Syracuse's bench looks pretty strong right now with people like Hareed and Brower coming off the bench. Outside shot by Madden goes in off the glass. three-pointer.
They got a three-point game going against a two-point game right here. That's what basically it'll come down to. North Carolina has to find some way to have the good night shooting the three-pointer.
Sherman Douglas stripped of the ball, but it goes right to Matt Rowe.
They got to be careful of Rowe spotting up. Carolina playing man-to-man right now. Rowe, he's going to play. Jimmy Boeheim's got to find playing time for Rowe. He's going to be very, very important to this team.
Madden turnaround is blocked by Coleman.
Syracuse looks impressive, too. They really look impressive, the Orange.
Coleman is having a tremendous game on the board with rebounds, and that's his second block. And lob, Coleman can't get to it as Fox boxed him out. The ball is loose. Coleman comes up with it, wants to put it up, stripped by Madden. Big scrum for the ball, jump ball. The possession arrow goes to Carolina.
You know, don't forget something. In the Big East last year, they lost 3 times to Georgetown, twice to Pittsburgh. And people have to realize it's not an automatic lock winning that Big East. John Thompson has got an outstanding backcourt. I believe they got the deepest backcourt in the nation. They got 5 quality guards. Louisville's probably got the deepest front court. And Pittsburgh, if they can get any kind of play at the point guard position from Sean Miller after losing Goodson, they got a tremendous front court with Lane, Brooken, and Smith.
Well, that's what Jimmy Boeheim said. How can you rank me #1 when I'm not even tops in my conference?
Well, you can rank, let me tell you this, there's about 10 teams you can rank #1 you can make a case for.
Ball is stripped loose by Stevie Thompson, but King Rice runs it down. And we are done in the first half. 50-39 is your score. The Syracuse Orangemen leading the North Carolina Tar Heels by 11.
My prescription.
15:27 remaining. The Syracuse Orangemen leading North Carolina and the Tar Heels by 14. John Saunders along with Dick Vitale up at the Tip-Off Classic in Springfield. Stevie Thompson takes the inbounds pass. Sherman Douglas already with 17. That is his average from last year. The ball goes off cyclically. It'll be Carolina ball.
Now let's look at the alignment and let's see if they're still going to play that same box and one and have maybe now Rowe play Jeff Lebo everywhere he goes.
They're giving, as you said, the ultimate compliment to Jeff Lebo. They figure take him out of the game and Carolina cannot win.
They're doing it, but they're playing Steve Thompson on him. Steve Thompson's chasing him everywhere he goes. He's right in his face, not allowing him to get in position to square up and shoot the jumper. That's really been a problem right here for North Carolina, getting Jeff Lebo free.
King Rice wants to drive, loses the control of the ball. Williams bumps against Cycley and still gets it to go.
Good move. He's missed a lot of practice time over the deaths of his mom and dad, and also the fact that he's had a bad back. He hasn't had a chance to practice, but he's going to form a good inside attack with J.R. Reed.
That's 6 points for Williams now. Stevie Thompson follows his own shot, gets it back once again. Underneath, a lot of traffic, tries to get it to fall, and it will not. Douglas chases after the ball. It goes off his foot and out of bounds.
Stevie Thompson, I believe, thinks he's a little bit like Demetrius Gore, that you get more points for degree of difficulty in attempting a shot. He's trying to be too acrobatic.
He was underneath the hoop with his back to it, tries to throw it up and gets it to drop, and very nearly had it go. That's what we talk about Stevie Thompson, what a tremendous athlete he is.
See, watch number 32 now. When the ball comes outside, good move inside by Scott Williams. He's one of those kids that got away from Walt Hazard on the coast and said bye-bye, but Hazard got a good one when he signed Derek Martin, an outstanding point guard from California.
Cycley is stripped of the ball by Chilcott, but Syracuse gets it back. Douglas flies through the air and drops it.
He's given a little education, a little clinic on how to play the point to King Rice. He said, welcome to college basketball.
We have something going on the side. Sherman Douglas got called for the foul. Madden looked like he took exception to it and threw the ball at Douglas. They're shaking hands. I really think he was just trying to save the ball off Douglas. I don't think he was really throwing at him because he was mad. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
He threw that pretty strong, John. He really threw that baby. He laid the rock right on him.
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, you know. We're early. It's the first game of the season.
This defense right here has been really tough on North Carolina. Notice how they're chasing Lebo. Now Rose playing him. Now they're playing man-to-man.
Now they want to go to Williams. Williams with a turnaround with the right hand. Nice
move by Williams.
Well, if there's anything they're getting in the second half is a lot of confidence out of Scott Williams. This should help him. He has scored the last 3 times he's touched the ball.
Well, this is what Carolina's tried to change a little bit as Sherman Douglas takes the pass back. Whoa, my goodness, Stevie Thompson was up among the trees.
He's 6'4". He might be the best offensive rebounder for his size. He's not in a class at all of Jerome Lane, who's the ultimate Windex man. Look at him working defensively, Douglas. King Rice said, I didn't have anybody guard me like that in Binghamton, New York in high school last year.
Sherman Douglas says, welcome to college basketball. The foul is on Derek Coleman as he reaches over the top. Ranzino Smith comes into the game for Carolina. And Keith Hughes comes in for the Syracuse Orangemen.
There's the jump shot by Douglas. There's Thompson's got great inside position from the help side. Most rebounds go to the opposite side on a jump shot from the baseline.
Ranzino Smith with the ball. Looks for Williams. Coleman is all over him. And the foul looks like it's on Coleman.
Look at Boeheim teaching every moment. The ultimate professor. Look at him right there. The professor. He finally got his respect last year with that 31-7 basketball team going to the final.
Williams to Madden. Out to King Rice. I want to remind everybody, if you're wondering why J.R. Reed is not in this game, as King Rice lets one fly from three-point range. It's no good. Syracuse moves it back up. J.R. picked off by Madden. J.R. was not allowed to play in the game, along with another member of the team. Missed jam by Williams, but Rowe gets called for the foul. J.R. was not allowed to play in the game, along with Steve Bucknall, because they were caught in a bar. Now, we remind you, it's a bar that did not serve alcohol, but they were in a fight in Srycause, and Dean Smith decided to discipline them.
There comes Rowe right now. He's going to challenge. He pushes. See, he's allowed to hang on that rim. No technical is called because he's in the attempt of shooting the basketball and is fouled on the play.
63-51, a 12-point Syracuse lead. Williams hits the first.
They're just hanging close enough to make it interesting, especially like we keep talking about the three-point shot. Syracuse has done a good job with its perimeter defense to shut down any three-point opportunities by North Carolina.
Nice rebound by Chilcott. He pushes it out to Rice again. Madden is open for the shot and hits it.
Kevin Madden, who was an academic redshirt last year, he thought he needed an extra year to get himself mentally tough and academically ready, and he met the challenge, and they're expecting to have a great year out of him.
63-54. Carolina trying slowly to climb back into this game, down by 9. There's Rowe for 3, and that's the first one he's missed. Cycli is stripped of the ball by King Rice. King Rice has Ranzino Smith with him.
Great decision again. He never makes the wrong decision in transition. He's such a heady player, John. He's going to be a fine Carolina guard. He's not going to be in a class of Kenny Smith, who's ultra quick. But see, thinking all the time, there's Ranzino with a little pump fake, lays it on a glass, and they're back in the hunt.
63-56 is the score. North Carolina down by just 7 now. We'll be back in just a moment.
Syracuse.
63-56 is your score. Carolina trails Syracuse. Dick?
There's the ball popped out of Cycli's hand. This is the little quarterback. I really love him with the basketball. There's Rice now pushing it up forward. Freeze it right there. See, he's taking the ball at Douglas. Now as he draws Douglas, look at Ranzino Smith on the wing. And he finds Smith wide open, but the key was the drive, the draw, and then he dished it. The 3D man, King Rice.
And Ranzino Smith has a chance to convert this into a three-point play.
See, Jeff Lebo is going to find a way to come off the screen and to move without the ball. Steve Alford was a master under Bobby Knight's system in getting free in terms of movement without the basketball. There's a little trap, 2-2-1. They don't have really good floor speed with Ranzino and Jeff Lebo. This is not your vintage North Carolina that played during the Michael Jordan, Sam Perkins era.
Sherman Douglas.
18-13.
Keith Hughes. Hughes, who is a good shooter, can shoot it from that distance. Douglas drives, lets the funny-looking shot go up. That's one thing they say about Douglas. They say his shooting technique is not the greatest, but he gets the job done. Ranzino Smith drives through a piece of it cycling, but it still manages to drop.
He's a scorer. I still pick North Carolina to win the ACC. I really do. I hear all kinds of plaudits on Duke and their great team defense. But right now, look at the score at half. Carolina a +7 here in the second half.
Carolina has drawn to within 4 as Ranzino Smith scores his 10th and 11th of the game.
When in doubt, throw it to the big horse inside. There's Coleman. High post, low post system. Cycling with a little faking move, but he did get fouled.
Cycling goes to the line again where he's been struggling today.
You know, you look at the ACC, Georgia Tech's going to have an outstanding trio when you talk about Hammonds, Farrell, and the wide body himself, Dennis Scott, who had a triple-double in his first game yesterday. But basically, North Carolina State's going to create some problems if Shackelford, who's a real mystery player, one day he's here, one day he's not. But I still think North Carolina, with Bucknall and with J.R. Reed in the middle, will still be the team to beat in the ACC, and they're my choice still to win it.
I think most of the coaches in the ACC agree with you. We talked to Dean Smith yesterday. He's probably the only one who doesn't. He likes to rank Duke ahead of his team.
Right now, they need a big three-pointer out of Jeff Lebo because he's their leader. He's their... But this guy's taking the game over right here. He wants to score, Ranzino.
Coleman is wide open. Got Stevie Thompson with him, but Coleman wants it himself. The shot won't go down. The foul is called against Jeff Lebo.
He kept his pivot foot planted. I thought for sure we were going to see a walk-in violation. Take a look at Derek Coleman right now. Right now he's going to make it. He should have drilled the bounce pass. Should have drilled the bounce pass right there. Took it to the goal, but had an open man and didn't give the ball up to Steve Thompson.
He says, I want to score, Dick. I want to score.
No one will ever forget up at Syracuse the missed free throw against Indiana late in the game.
And all credit to Derek Coleman after that game. Just a young freshman as he sinks the second one. Sat and took all the questions from all the writers and all the reporters. And I think he showed a lot of class for just a youngster. Lebo lets it fly. It's a three-pointer.
Can't let him do that, John. Can't let him spot up. That time they're not in. They're not in their special defense playing a man-to-man. He's a tremendous open shooter.
Jeff Lebo now with 15 points, and there's a turnover as a foul is called.
North Carolina, I can go on and talk about the accomplishments of Dean Smith. But all you have to do is go down the road here in Springfield, Massachusetts, to where Joe O'Brien reigns as the king of the Hall of Fame, and look at Dean Smith, who's a member of the Hall of Fame. I think next year you'll see another guy inducted. He's up for a nomination. Robert Montgomery Knight, the general, will walk into the Hall of Fame.
65-62 is the score now. An 11-point halftime lead has been trimmed, and it's stolen by Kevin Madden.
Good defense by Madden. He fronts inside. Good anticipation.
King Rice now sets the offense. There's a foul away from the ball called on Ron Cycling.
They get Cycling for a screen.
Number 14, Earl Duncan, checking in for Syracuse.
Ricky Fox playing good team defense. Oh, there he is, laying the screen, and there's Cycling trying to come over the top.
Ronnie Cycling, his third. Fox will go to
Cycling does into the bonus now.
Yeah, Cycling doesn't read the screen. They lay a lot of back screens. You got to really communicate to try and defend that back screen.
Fox misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and back comes Syracuse running it again. Stevie Thompson off to Duncan. Oh, nice pass.
Two Californians who said, bye-bye, Syracuse, here I come. Bye-bye, Wall Hazard.
Jimmy Boeheim at the banquet yesterday said, you wonder how I get those kids from L.A.? He was crediting you. He says, they all listen to Dick Vitale on ESPN, and that's why they want to come and play in the Carrier Dome.
Fox really forced that entry right there. He had the wide open jump shot and he forced it inside.
67-62 is the score as Williams checks back into the game. Stevie Thompson was called for that foul.
Second foul.
Dean Smith was very animated yesterday at practice. He was so enthusiastic. He had them really working exceptionally hard, having them believe they can win today without J.R. Reed.
And they missed the front end. Free throws a problem for Carolina right now.
Normally, they're one of the better free throw shooting teams in the country, John.
No question.
Man-to-man defense right here by Syracuse. See, the man-to-man, they should get Lebo free.
Madden gets open. Cycli comes over to help, but foul.
Ronnie Cycli's had a history throughout his collegiate career getting in foul trouble. Here's number 4, and it's decision time for Jimmy Boeheim. And he makes the decision to bring him out. They'll try to bring him back with 4 minutes. Now, this is where North Carolina has got to go inside to Scott Williams, who's been very effective here in the second half.
With 8:51 left in the second half, Cycli leaves the game, and Derek Brower comes in. Free throw percentage today, neither team doing very well. Carolina just shooting 50% as Madden sinks the first one.
37% for Syracuse. Last year, they were 8th in the league in shooting free throws. They were 1st in the league in field goal percentage and 2nd in the league in field goal percentage defensively, but they were 8th in the league in free throw percentage, shooting 65%.
Madden misses the second one, and Coleman hauls down the rebound. 67-63 is the score. The Syracuse Orangemen, ranked number 1 in the nation, have a game on their hands after leading by 11 at the half. Stolen by Ranzino Smith.
I'll tell you how he made that play also. What he did there, John, he gets fouled. He didn't go with the offensive player. He switched defensively. Syracuse did not recognize the switch. He stepped into the passing lane and made the steal.
That is a defense that Dean Smith loves to use, one that he discovered when he was playing guard many years ago, and he has used it to perfection at Carolina. Ranzino sinks that one, 67-64, a three-point game.
He's got a nice touch. He has this as administrative assistant. You mentioned a long time ago he played for Fog Allen at Kansas. Former Kansas head coach Dick Harp, who coached Wilt Chamberlain in 1957 when Frank McGuire's Carolina Tar Heels won the national championship with Lenny Rosenbluth, Tommy Kearns. Hey, we got ourselves a heck of a game here, John.
67-65. It's a two-point game, 13 for Ranzino Smith. Douglas twisting and turning, loses the ball, and Madden comes up with it.
Out of control right there. Sherman Douglas trying to do it by himself.
Madden, an ill-advised shot, goes wide of the hoop. And Duncan comes up with the ball for Sherman Douglas.
You have a lot of inexperienced players on the floor right now for North Carolina. Madden sat out last year academically. Scott Williams certainly didn't play a lot of playing time. And Ricky Fox, a freshman.
The blocking foul against Carolina. Williams has something to say about it to any official who will listen to it.
North Carolina foul.
Here's the ball, entered to Douglas. Douglas is a strong driver. There's the blocking foul right there. Ranzino believes he has position.
You can see the reaction of Scott Williams there, who can't believe that Ranzino was called for a foul, but clearly he was moving. Chilcott comes back in for North Carolina as Madden checks out of the game.
Douglas got 19 points and 6 assists. As we take a look at the stats right there, that's number 20 out of Spingarn High School. You know, if you have to rate the top 5 point guards in America, you got to put them right there with David Rivers. I'd have number 1. And then you're talking about Douglas, and you're talking about Pooh Richardson, Rodney Strickland, who's academically ineligible for 5 games, and B.J. Armstrong. I love Armstrong at Iowa.
It's a 4-point game. The North Carolina Tar Heels trail the Syracuse Orangemen 69-65. Back in a moment. 69-65 is your score with 7:56 left in the second half. Jeff Lebo brings the ball up court for North Carolina. The Tar Heels have climbed back into this one after trailing by 11 at the half and once trailing by 13. Turnover. Stevie Thompson comes up with the ball. Does it himself, and what a move. Does he change direction in midair?
He creates that with his great balance and his tremendous jump off the floor. He's got great legs. He's an explosive leaper.
I think Brower is on Williams. Brower into the game for Srycause. Lebo comes around the screen and picks up the ball, bangs it off the glass, and it goes. 71-67.
He pulls up. He's under control. Good balance as he shoots the jump shot.
Brower pushes it back out to Duncan.
See, they're playing off the wings. They're going to let Syracuse shoot the ball from the wings and try to stop them going inside.
Coleman had the ball underneath, and Williams looks at the official and says, I got called for the foul. I got hit in the head.
Derek Coleman hasn't really learned how to play without the basketball. He becomes too stationary on the floor. He has to learn, but we have to realize, again, this is only his second year of collegiate basketball. He's mobile, he's agile, he can be hostile, and he's not fragile. And I'll tell you one other thing, he has got all the confidence in the world. He is by far one of the most confident players in the nation.
Coleman has 10 rebounds on the day, and is there any, a lot of people make a lot about the sophomore things. You come out in your second year and you don't have what you have as a freshman.
If you can flat out play, there aren't any sophomore jinxes for guys like Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, the Colemans. I mean, if you're a player, you're a player. Sophomore, junior, senior, doesn't matter, Big John.
Coleman misses the second. King Rice has the ball for North Carolina. Syracuse in the man-to-man.
Syracuse has to watch for the back screen. North Carolina does a great job with back screens. Oh, they had a backdoor cut, but there's a foul before.
It's like the foul was called on Brower.
We haven't mentioned, John, that armband on Mr. Coleman is for one of his friends who passed away, I guess this summer. There it is. You see it up on him. It's dedicating, I guess, the season to him.
North Carolina shooting 1-1.
Tremendous athlete.
He came out of Northern High School, coached by Harry Hairston. I know Harry, and Harry's an intense competitor out in the Motor City.
Back to four as Williams sinks that one.
I really like
to cut it to three.
I really like what I see of Scott Williams here in the second half. He's shown his mobility. He's got good touch. I jinxed him.
Coleman comes up with his 11th rebound of the game. Duncan with the ball. Lebo on him. Brower moves it to Coleman, turns around, and hits the shot.
He likes being the big man. He wants to be the big man on campus. He loves that they bring the rock to him at crucial times. That's a two-shot foul.
9 points for Derek Coleman.
Syracuse foul at number 14, Earl Duncan. That is his second foul.
Williams gets another chance at the line. 74-68 is the score. Carolina trails by 6. Williams has a chance to cut it to 4.
He was a tremendous high school player. Just did a great job when he played in high school and decided to go out to North Carolina.
Good form on the line as he cuts the lead to 5 now.
He'll even become much more effective when he has his buddy to play inside with him, J.R. Reed. Free him up a little bit more, John. You could do a lot more things to neutralize him and to defend him without the presence of J.R. Reed. See, there's North Carolina trying to pack it in out of the zone. They want Syracuse to shoot the deep shot. Douglas is going to have the wide open jumper right there. He's going to have the wide open shot.
Duncan wide open. His flies, and it will not go. Brower comes up with the rebound on the save and takes it. King Rice, trying to chase after the loose ball, is called for a foul.
That's their plan right now. North Carolina's plan is by design to make them shoot the perimeter shot.
Are you surprised at all, Dick, as we take a look at the good hustle by King Rice? Are you surprised at all that North Carolina, without J.R. Reed, without Bucknall, who would have seen a lot of time, are been able to stay this close?
Oh, not at all, John. I really believe when you look at some of the personnel North Carolina has, that they can be competitive, especially with the maestro on the sideline, the orchestra leader himself, Dean Smith. He's not going to let them get away. He just has such a natural touch. And look at him right here, animated as can be. You don't win 611 games and not be able to get your team ready for a big game like this to be competitive, especially when you have some fine athletes as well.
Duncan hits both shots, and it's now a 6-point Syracuse lead. King Rice out at the point for North Carolina. He will be there come midseason. By the time they hit the ACC schedule, likely Lebo will be back at the 2 guard. Rice with a bad shot, and the rebound comes down to Duncan.
Rice lost his balance. He ran a backdoor cut. He made the right move, but he slipped and lost his balance. He is a suspect shooter, John. He is not a good-looking shooter. I watched him in practice. He's going to really have to work on that aspect of his game.
That's why he did not become the 7th player at North Carolina to start as a freshman. There's only been 6 since Dean Smith has been there. Only 1 point guard, Kenny Smith. Stephen Thompson hangs
that shot right there.
Good rebound and a strong move.
Great garbage rebound by Derek Coleman. Gets the loose offensive rebound.
78-70. Now an 8-point Syracuse lead. They've opened it back up.
And they're doing it without Srycause. He's sitting on the sideline with 4 fouls.
Chilcott with a good shot.
Chilcott, put it down. He's going to be a fine North Carolina player.
They say he is exactly a North Carolina type player.
Joe Wolf.
They say he's strong, he's smart, he's easy to teach, which Dean likes. And that's a Carolina type player.
There's a look at Ronnie Srycause. He's saying, I don't want to stay on his sideline. I got to get on the floor. But Chilcott is a young version of a Joe Wolf.
But matter of fact, Joe Wolf last year was his mentor. They said to Chilcott, he was redshirted. They said, just look at Joe Wolf, watch him, and do everything. Here's a look at the all-time winningest active coaches. And as you can see, Dean Smith, number 4 there with 611. Ralph Miller nominated to the Hall of Fame this year with 615. And Dean Smith will possibly catch him this year.
You see number 1, Clarence Gaines, outstanding coach at Winston-Salem, the home of Earl the Pearl Monroe.
It's now just a 5-point lead as Chilcott hits the first.
See, normally at home over in Chapel Hill, he'll jump into a full-court press after the conversion here.
Someone might have been in the lane a little bit early. Lane violation is what they call.
See, those are the little things that can come back to haunt you. You can't give an extra team like North Carolina the extra shot here or the extra point.
Jimmy Boeheim giving the officials at the desk a little bit of, the season has begun, Dick.
Well, they're going to enforce this year bench decorum. They do not want an official to talk to the coaches during the game. Only on a correctable error where a coach has a right to challenge whether or not the official has made an error.
Chilcott has 8 points in the game.
There they are in that zone. It becomes a 2-3 when the ball goes to the baseline. It starts off with a point man.
Srycause turns around in the paint. He has developed the touch.
He's silky smooth in the lane, under control, nice touch, good rhythm.
Lebo is open for 3, but it's long, won't fall. Chilcott comes down with a rebound. Lebo again for 3.
Great rebound by Chilcott. What a play by Peter Chilcott from Alabama. Lebo, we know, can shoot the stationary J, but what a play on the rebound and finding his man, the alertness of Chilcott.
The youngster has been impressive. Douglas.
Good rotation right there. Scott Williams with a good rotation. Give it back.
Ranzino says no. Ranzino off the glass, and it's good.
He should have given that ball right back. Well, it'll be another big year down at the Dean Dome, and it's going to be a big year at the Carrier Dome.
It's a 1-point game, folks. 80-79. The Syracuse Orangemen leading the North Carolina Tar Heels. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Don't go away. A lot left. It was an 11-point Syracuse lead at the half. It is now 80-79. 3:16 left. John Saunders and Dick Vitale.
Freeze it right there. See, look right here. He draws Duncan to him. Duncan's got a hand on him. He's checking him like a pro. He takes it up. He scores, but he should have given the ball right there to Lebo for the easy layup. He drew the defensive player to him. Timeouts remaining. North Carolina with 4. Syracuse with 2. Remember this. Dean Smith, late in the game, is a master with the clock.
Madden strips the ball loose away from Cycling. Jimmy Boeheim is not happy with his big man.
I can hear Jimmy Valvano already. He said the season just starts, and already Vital has given me 5 Michelangelos on Dean Smith. A master at the end of the game.
King Rice is going after the ball on the inbounds pass. Got the man instead, was called for the foul.
Second personal foul.
Sherman Douglas will go to the line with an 80-79 lead. 1-1. This is very important for the Syracuse Orange man. This is what has killed them.
He's got a nice looking free throw. He's got good rotation. He's very calm on the line. He's got an excellent follow through. 23.7 assists. That's a great opener.
A miss, but Coleman comes up with the ball. And Sherman Douglas out again. 3:07 left in the game. 81-79. 13 rebounds for Derek Coleman.
See, right now they're trying to spread the court, use some of that 45-second clock. North Carolina sitting back, playing a soft man-to-man. Very soft man-to-man.
Douglas barking out the signals.
See, they're letting Douglas right here play with the ball. Notice how they're going to play in front of Coleman. Watch when they bring the ball to Douglas. And the same thing on the other side. See how Lebo's playing off the wing? They're going to let Duncan and Douglas shoot the ball from the wings.
Douglas lets it fly, and Chilcutt is there to haul down the rebound.
He's really played a solid game for his first game as a college player.
Did not play a game last year as he was redshirt as a freshman. They said he was too light, not strong enough. Added some bulk.
Oh, they missed Rice. He was open. They got it to him a little. What a great pass.
Lebo's shot will not fall. And Sherman Douglas comes down with the rebound. He's being trapped.
Syracuse. Lebo was shocked by the pass by King Rice. He really shocked him. What a great look by King Rice.
Timeout Syracuse. 81-79 is the score with 2:09 left in the game. What's Dean telling them right now?
We'll take a look right here. There's Jeff. He comes up. He has a really poor angle on that shot. There's the trap now. They're going to trap. Well, a little bump right there. Now they trap. Williams and Lebo not going to let him out of the trap. Timmy Higgins. Look at Timmy Higgins. He gets the TO. He gets the timeout. Higgins says he's got the timeout. You know, you ask what basically is he talking right there about. He's got to talk about shot selection. He's got to talk about defensive pressure, what to do inside, how to shut down the lane inside. I always believe that in a sequence like this, you want to alert your players to strategy. You want to alert your players to the time on the clock. And number 3, to the score of the game.
Hi. 81-79 as Dean Smith and Jim Boeheim talk it over with their troops.
I think Jim Boeheim's going to start to develop some confidence and get the ball to an open shooter like Mr. Rowe. I think he has to get Mr. Rowe on the floor. He doesn't have that confidence in him right now, so he's playing his athletes, his quick players, the Duncans, the Thompsons. But I think as the season progresses, Rowe will become really an important player and play some quality time.
We got to give accolades, of course, to Mr. Peter Chilcutt, somebody who we wondered if he could play at this caliber this early in the season. He's got 9 rebounds. Cycling up to Douglas. The pass was not a good one, so Douglas has to take it back out. Sherman Douglas had thoughts of taking that one right to the hole, but the defense rather got back in time.
There's North Carolina sitting back, letting them use some clock. They got to be careful now as the court opens up. This is where a cycling can become really effective. See if they spread the court and get cycling one-on-one, they will not be able to handle them inside.
10 seconds left on the shot clock here as Douglas has the ball, throws it up. It won't go, and Chilcutt with his 10th rebound of the game.
Chilcutt, a great position rebounder. Oh, good anticipation by Douglas defensively.
Sherman Douglas who came back and stripped it, but it was stripped from him. Wide open is Kevin Madden. Madden goes in and just lets it drop. 81-81. We are tied.
Good Good transition basket by the Tar Heels.
First tie since it was 23-23. The Tar Heels have climbed back in it.
Good defensive strategy by Dean Smith. Playing off the perimeter. Trying to jam inside on Srycause. See how they're aware of where Srycause is inside? They're forming like a triangle on the big guy. See, they're making a play with the ball on the perimeter, John.
Williams reaches over the back of Srycause as he was trying to haul in the pass, and he was called for a foul.
Remember now, Ronnie Srycause is not a great free throw shooter. That's been one of the real deficient areas throughout his career. Very inconsistent on a free throw line. This is now a new year, senior year, tie 81-81, 46 seconds to go, and he's being tested as an All-American right now.
This is where the stock rises or falls. Ron Srycause, the pressure, 19 points and 6 rebounds in the game.
The great players said, get me the ball right now. They said, get me the ball. There it is.
Srycause hauls down the rebound.
They can hold it for one. They can hold it for one shot. Dean's going to look for one shot with the tie game. Spread the court and look for one. If they can handle the quickness.
Ranzino Smith, what a nice cut from the basket, wide open, takes it in.
Well, they shot it a little early, but he was so wide open, they had to take the layup. In the spread offense, Syracuse breaks down defensively, John, and they get the unmolested layup that you and I could have made.
83-81, the Tar Heels are on top now by 2. We'll be back in just a moment. The last time the Tar Heels led this game, the score was 14-13 early in the first half. They now lead it by 2 with just 24 seconds left. Syracuse has no timeouts left in the game. Ranzino Smith has 15 for those 2.
They brought in a three-point shooter in Rowe. Remember, he can shoot the three-pointer, but I got to believe they got to go inside. They got to go inside.
That shot was blocked partially by Srycause. There's a foul underneath on Carolina. Srycause will go to the line again.
Remember, he came up empty his last trip to the foul line. He had a chance to make a big one-on-one.
Sherman Douglas tried to drive that one to the basket, and Srycause got in his way, and it looked like he got a piece of the ball as well.
Carolina's got to talk right now about the fact, John, if he converts both, tie ball game, 11 seconds is plenty time, ample time to get a good shot. Carolina's really played a brilliant second half defensively. Their game plan defensively has just been excellent. And what about the performance of Ranzino Smith that was shutting down Jeff Lebo for that one sequence, and then Ranzino stepped in and did a solid job.
They think Ranzino Smith can be a scoring machine. He's played a lot more last year than he did in his first 2 years, and as a senior is going to have to take a lot of the load.
They haven't lost an opener since 1975. I'm not sure, but could have that been when there was a guy by the name of Fly Williams playing at Austin Peay? Let's go P.
Your favorite. Srycause, 3 of 8 from the line today.
Hold on.
And these are the 2 most important free throws he'll see in some time.
If they come up empty, I can hear the press conference right now. I told you guys we were overrated. I told you we're not that good out of Jimmy Boeheim. I can hear it right now. But you know what? Right now, Ronnie Srycause is going to prove that he has shaken that problem on the free throw line and be able to convert the big free throws if he wants to be labeled the true All-American.
Hands the first one.
He was confident right there. Jimmy Boeheim says, what a way to start the season. This is only the beginning.
And the second one is good. We're tied at 83. Coleman steals the inbound pass. Oh, it is fouled as he takes it to the hole on a nice move.
Great play by Derek Coleman. Dean Smith's got to get a timeout right now to settle. There it is. He's trying to get the timeout. That really doesn't happen with a North Carolina basketball team. There they are right now. Srycause taking the ball out of bounds, runs the baseline. Now he panics a little bit, and Coleman just strips him of the ball and then hangs in the air, draws the contact, and goes to the line with a chance to win the game.
Very nearly had the shot, that one-handed hook in the paint, very nearly had it fall. It just barely rimmed up.
You got to give Ronnie Cycli credit. The way he stepped at that foul line, the game was really on the line, and he just converted those two as cool as can be. Ronnie Cycli, All-American.
Williams is fouled out of the game with that foul.
They really become small without Williams. If the game goes to overtime, they really have no size other than Chilcutt to be able to play on the inside at 6'8". Jimmy Boeheim, look at him. Is it this tough? Look at it. My opening game.
And Derek Coleman thoughts may go back to an afternoon not too long ago in New Orleans, Louisiana, the final game of the season when he was on the line again.
Well, maybe all those trips to the foul line at Manley Hall, after they get tutoring, they have tutoring set up from 7 to 9, and then after that they go shoot free throws. Maybe it's all paying off right here because they made them at clutch time. They can win it. Remember, a three-point shot would win it.
Lebo's being trapped, moves it to Chilcutt, turns around, won't go. It does drop in. The shot is good. And we are tied and going to overtime. What a pressure shot by Pete Chilcutt. Turned around and hit it. Let's look at it again. 85-85 as we head to overtime.
Now remember, a three-point shot can win it. There's Lebo. They shut him down. He can't get up. There's Cycli now pressuring him. He enters into the freshman, redshirt freshman. Chilcutt gets the touch. He steps right into the gap. See, look at the way they shut down a Lebo. Cycli smart enough to come out. He knows that Lebo can shoot the three-point play, but he gets the bounce of a guy with a touch right here. Hey, Mo Davenport, our producer's going bananas in the truck. He's screaming, what an opener we got, what an opener.
First game of the season, Carolina and Syracuse, and we are going to overtime, tied at 85 apiece.
Remember, personnel-wise right now, John, as we calm down a little bit here, North Carolina has lost Scott Williams. They have really no size whatsoever. They're playing with Chilcutt at 6'7.5", 6'8". They're playing with Madden. They don't have the kind of size up front with Cycli and Coleman. Let's see what kind of difference that can be right now here in the overtime.
Pete Chilcutt, 10 points, those two, the most important of his life, and 11 rebounds. What a job the freshman has done.
Last time North Carolina was in an overtime over at the Hall of Fame Classic here was against Luigi Carnesecca's St. John's team, and they left the arena that day with a big L. In fact, they lost the first 2 games of the year that year.
The Syracuse Orangemen had an 11-point lead at the half, and what a few final minutes we had in the second half to force this overtime. Tip is controlled by North Carolina.
I think North Carolina's got to use a lot of the clock right now. They got to try to shorten this overtime up a little bit in terms of possessions. They're in a passing game. Pass, you go away. Watch, when you make a pass, he'll go away.
Ranzino nearly stripped of the ball by Duncan.
Oh, great cuts.
Oh, Stevie jump ball. The possession arrow goes to Syracuse.
Syracuse gets possession.
There's the look by Chilcutt. Yes, North Carolina's found a player in Chilcutt. They got the jump ball on Madden.
I think you can judge some of the great jumpers and shot blockers by their ability to leave the floor after his opponent does and still get up and block.
So they're playing soft on Thompson. They know he wants to drive, so they play off him. Ricky Fox, they're playing off the wings. They're saying you want to shoot over the top. We'll allow you to shoot over the top, but we're not going to give you the entry down inside to Cycli.
Stevie Thompson.
See, they can't get it in. They got a lucky bounce.
Oh, what a Cycli.
That's an NBA move. Get ready. He can help the New York Knickerbockers right now. They'd love to have him hook up with Mr. Ewing.
Madden tries to get it to Chilcutt, nearly stripped by Cycli. Ranzino lets it fly, it won't go, and the rebound comes down to Douglas.
It's tough for North Carolina to get a second shot. As we alluded to, Scott Williams was fouled out of the game.
Stevie Thompson hangs in midair, and the shot does fall.
Might need a timeout right now, John, to settle him down, to get him a good shot here.
89-85. The Syracuse Orangemen lead the North Carolina Tar Heels. We are in overtime.
Douglas is really up in Lebo's face, finding it tough for Lebo to get free. They got to lay a screen.
Ricky Fox.
Lebo and Ranzino are going to shoot the ball. There's Ranzino.
Ranzino is fouled as he lets the shot go.
Syracuse foul on number 14.
89-85.
Third personal foul.
Earl Duncan picks up his third personal foul of the game, and Ranzino Smith will go to the line with a chance to close the gap to 89-87. Conley knocks in the first one.
Well, he wasn't heavily recruited out of high school, yet he really scored a lot of points in Chapel Hill. A lot of people thought maybe he was a little too pudgy, a little bit too offensive-minded. It looks like he's going to have a big senior year. There's King Rice coming in for defensive pressure.
Ranzino checks out of the game.
There's the steal. He comes in for defense.
Jeff Lebo with the ball. Out to Chilcutt. Goes down the lane and a nice lead in.
Peter Chilcutt, Steve Bucknall, you better lace him up when you come back to try and get some PT.
We are tied once again at 89 with 2:52 left in the overtime.
Rice comes on the floor, just exactly what he wanted. Some defense, causes the turnover.
Stevie Thompson, nice touch.
Well, Stevie Thompson gets in close, and that's his range. He's a scorer, but more than he's a shooter.
King Rice is out there.
See, there's the passing game. You pass, go away, or pass and replace yourself. You have three options when you give the ball up. What a backdoor cut.
Stevie Thompson had no choice but to come over and make the foul.
Well, in the team defense, Thompson rotates over. There's the backdoor cut. There's Thompson rotating over. Derek Coleman with no defense. He's playing matador defense on the wing, and Fox runs a backdoor on him. They had Derek Coleman a little pumped up. Bernie Fine, the outstanding assistant coach, he said he's going to post on the board as he comes up short with the free throw. A quote by Jerome Lane: "I beat him with my brain. I held him with 28 points, 20 rebounds in 3 games." He said, "Because I play with my brain, and I get Mr. Coleman frustrated."
Fox hits the second one. It's a 1-point game. Jerome Lane said he would just give him a few nudges here and there and throw Coleman off his game. Thompson was wide open but can't get it. The ball is turned over to Carolina.
Carolina gets a lucky break right there. They made a poor play defensively in getting back. And there's one of the trademarks of North Carolina. The whole bench stands up and cheer, always think in terms of the team concept.
Stevie Thompson goes for the steal. Carolina will retain possession of the ball.
It's obvious North Carolina doesn't have the great rhythm that they'll have as the season progresses because they have so many new parts to their system.
Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that J.R. Reed is not here. This is a North Carolina team that many people thought could not stick with Syracuse without their big man.
I really believe in a one-game shot you can get away with that, John. If you had to play in longevity, so many times a star player sits out, the players rise for the occasion. If you didn't have him for 4 or 5 games, it would really sink in. Don't believe they don't need J.R. Reed. They need the big fella.
King Rice.
Syracuse
open man, lobs it inside.
Not a good play at all by Rice. Tries to throw the lob over the top. That's a freshman mistake. They have no size inside. He throws the lob to Rick Fox with Coleman playing in the lane.
Duncan, air ball. Traveling unsightly as he falls over top of Madden.
He got tripped right there. They missed the trip. Ronnie Cycli has a right to moan. So does Jimmy Boeheim. Now you watch right here. Watch Ronnie Cycli, number 4. Now watch as the ball goes up. He will trip right over the top. Well, is it incidental contact? Looked to me like he tripped. It was a walk-in violation as he rolled out of bounds.
Madden with the ball now. Lebo tries to cut through it. Does go off his fingertips, and Syracuse will take over.
They're really trying to jam that backdoor cut. That's a tough play to make. The greatest ever making that was Bill Bradley with Walter Clyde Frazier entering for the New York Knicks.
91-90 is the score. A little over a minute left.
Syracuse right now killing a lot of time on the clock, milking the clock. Remember, they don't have to come out. 2 years ago, you had to come out if you were behind. That rule is no longer in existence.
Jimmy Boeheim calls for a timeout. 91-90 is your score. The Syracuse Orangemen leading the North Carolina Tar Heels. We'll be back with the final 55. .55 seconds left in this, the first overtime. Syracuse leading North Carolina 91-90. John Saunders and Dick Vitale.
That was Bernie Fine talking to Sherman Douglas. Bernie, a fine assistant coach. Remember this, Ronnie Srycause 5 for 10 now on a free throw line, but he made 2 crucial free throws when they had to have them in regulation time. They throw the ball up high to Srycause.
Douglas comes up with it, lobs it to Coleman, but he cannot get to the ball. Ranzino Smith and Fox bump into each other. Trapped by Coleman and Douglas. Syracuse trapping now. They finally get the ball up to Madden, and as he goes up, Madden is called.
Chaotic basketball right there. That's not typical North Carolina basketball, John. They really are playing panicking. They almost panicked with a 10-second violation in the backcourt. Ricky Fox throws it over the top. They come out of it at least, going to the free throw line. Very, very fortunate.
Stephen Johnson. That is his 4th personal foul.
Madden draws the foul against Stevie Thompson. We have 37 seconds left in the game. 91-90 is the score. Syracuse leads.
Kevin Madden will go to the line for North Carolina.
Madden's got 10 points here today, but these are the biggest points he's going to be shooting all day. He's been in a little pain today. He's had some problems with his ankle, it seemed. He's a spirited kid also. A lot of enthusiasm, a lot of spirit. He shot well yesterday in practice on a free throw line. I was observing him, and he had a good touch yesterday. But this is today.
There wasn't a sellout crowd there watching him do that yesterday, but just the same, looks like he's just as easy.
Look at the free throw line, 75% versus 54%. Remember, they lost 2 heartbreakers by 1 and 2 last year to Georgetown, and they missed 35 free throws. If they lose today, it is again because of the free throw.
92-91 is the score. The Tar Heels are back on top, and we have less than 30 seconds left.
Jimmy Boeheim's going to let him play. They force it inside.
Foul is called against Syracuse. Earl Duncan reaching for the loose ball. Earl Duncan committed the foul.
You know, everybody probably is wondering why no timeout by Syracuse. We see the ball come loose. There's wrapping inside. Timmy Higgins jumps in on a call. But, you know, everybody wondering why no timeout. I want to stress, he has no more timeouts left. He has exhausted all his timeouts. In overtime, you get 1 more timeout, and they use that.
And this is a man that Jimmy Boeheim does not want to see throwing free throws for Carolina.
He was an 84% shooter last year on a free throw line out of Carlisle, PA, where Billy Owens, heading for Syracuse, could break his all-time record as they go for an unprecedented 4th state championship. Carlisle, coached by his dad, Dave. Remember this, Syracuse with a 3-point deficit, they have a chance. They have a chance to tie the game.
Carolina takes the timeout with a 3-point lead, 94-91 in 21 seconds. We see Matt Rowe comes in for the Syracuse Orangemen. That, of course, because the Orangemen will be looking to hit that 3-point shot. Rowe has hit 3 of them today already.
Ranzino Smith trying to match up. They're going to be in a little zone trap to let him take some time off the clock. See, Ranzino's chasing Rowe. Good adjustment by North Carolina rather than let him step up into the zone. Did they trap him?
Duncan with the ball. Sherman Douglas from 3. Lets it fly. It will not drop. Matt Rowe comes up with the ball, and he's fouled by Chilcott.
That turned out to be a good foul. I'll tell you why. He's got to convert the 2 to get it to 1, and now you have possession of the ball. And if you can't inbounds the basketball, you don't deserve to win. If I were Dean Smith, I'd get a timeout to try and talk to them what to do.
I think enters the lineup for Syracuse.
Well, he's going to, he may signal a timeout if he converts both.
Hughes comes in, of course, for rebounding purposes, but this is something we talked about last year during the NCAA that Matt Rowe and someone perhaps in situations like this foul a guy if they have to hit 3 points to win the game.
I really believe in that strategy. I think a lot of coaches are afraid about the inbounds on the basketball, but my feeling is too many bad things have to happen. They not only have to force the turnover, they got to convert the turnover. And I really think if you can't inbounds the ball, you don't deserve to win. Really a disappointing loss if Syracuse were to lose this game with all the excitement, the anticipation. Last night, the lobby was just going bananas with them being selected #1 in Sports Illustrated. Curry Kirkpatrick at it again, putting the jinx on him. There's a lot of disappointment right now at Grimaldi's, the favorite eating a place of mine up in Syracuse if they were to lose.
Rowe hits the first one and pulls Syracuse within 2. Now the Orange could tie, even if he misses this one.
Remember, North Carolina had a lot of difficulty inbouncing the ball earlier.
Number 30, Derek Brower.
Derek Brower comes in to Sherman Douglas, and again, it's obvious that Jimmy Boeheim wants his big men in there for the rebound. Should there be one.
We talked at halftime that it wasn't over when they were down 11 with their ability to score, especially from three-point range. I think he tried to miss that.
Yeah, I think so. Ron Cycler looked like he was totally disappointed. Fox,
it's all over.
Showtime.
Celebration time on Franklin Street, Chapel Hill. 612 for Dino. Look at this win. Oh, J.R. Reed, you're missing a party, big fella.
The North Carolina Tar Heels have pulled out the win.